Welcome back to the channel, guys. I hope you're having a great day. So, the latest Superman trailer. What I understand about this this event we got in the in the Super Bowl, right, during Super Bowl weekend, right? It appeared on the Puppy Bowl, right? So it wasn't okay. So a Super Bowl commercial, the insanity of this. A Super Bowl commercial goes for $8 million for a 30-second slot, right? Imagine that, $8 million. It's a lot of money. If you don't think the importance of advertising and promotion is important, right? Many of you guys who used to tell me things like, your social media site can't make any money. Imagine that, $8 million for 30 seconds. $8 million, 30 seconds. Wow. But anyway, many of us were expecting, because it was the Puppy Bowl, something with crypto. We get Guy Gardner's Green Lantern, right? Played by Nathan Fillion, who happens to be a good friend of James Gunn. But let me give you a few corrections with this, right? First, if my understanding serves me correctly, Warner Brothers owns the Puppy Bowl, right? So because the company itself owns the Puppy Bowl, you guessed it, that means the cost for the Superman slot was zero, right? Which, clever. It saving $8 million, right? For the people who are hoping this film will flop, you can look at it as to say, well, at least investors won't lose $8 million, right? Because Warner Brothers can basically, cover that, right? They can cover that. Looking at this on Yahoo Entertainment, of course, and just some of the things they were saying about the Green Lantern's haircut, saying that's the only bowl cut haircut, the only bowl he's gonna need. Right? So a lot of people thought this was ridiculous. They thought it was crazy. So if you watch Creature Commandos, right, it felt rated R. And this is the part I want you guys to understand about James Gunn, how he does his movies, right? So it felt rated R. There obviously is adult themed content in there, right? But at the same time, from Creature Commandos, you got the kind of dark comedy, right? You got that comedy in there. Guardians of the Galaxy, same way, right? You get invested in the characters. There's obviously an important storyline to the watcher, but it has weird elements, dark comedy in it. This is characteristics of a comic book nerd. That's what James Gunn is, right? Again, the people who just can't connect with this approach, right? Not only don't they understand James Gunn, but they don't understand that this balance in comic relief, right, in film. Whereas I used to hate it. I used to think it wasn't necessary. I used to think it ruined films until I started going on a binge of watching serious, could be comic book films, could be sci-fi films. I went on a binge of watching like the serious ones, right? Where there was like no comic relief. The entire movie was a serious movie. It was a dark, edgy movie. And what began to happen is I start to get a little fatigue, a little grounded fatigue. And I think many of you all know what I'm talking about. Yes, James Gunn can be over the top a little bit with his films in this blend of cinema and these comic book films. That is very much true. Very, very true. But um, uh, I found it works for him as a director, right? I'm not saying it should be part of every film and it'll work in every film. You have to be very talented to perfect that mix and that blend. I'm just saying that James Gunn's good at doing this. So what was my reaction when I seen this? I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. Whereas I know a lot of people, it didn't click with them. They hated it. When I saw Nathan Fillion standing up there looking like that, with that humor he does, I just bust out laughing. I thought it was hilarious. Now, what you got to understand as well about the actor Nathan Fillion, he's also very talented at that. He's like the perfect actor for James Gunn because I remember him from films like Serenity, the television series Firefly, which broke into that. He is one of these people who can be serious and do that comedy bits at the same time. And what you have to understand about actors in comedic parts, and even how James Gunn blends the comedy in his movies. Remember, guys, comedy is the hardest form of acting and movie creation to do. Any actor will tell you that the hardest role to play is try to be funny, right? The easiest role is being the hero, being the stern, stand on your morals hero. That's the easiest role. Being the villain is hard, right? But being a comedic actor is almost impossible. It is hard. And if you could do all three, right, or all three of those elements can be in your film, and it turned out to be a good film, that means you're a very talented filmmaker, right? That's how it works. So whereas a lot of people saw this as ridiculous, I saw something else in it, right? So here's another thing, guys. The approach to this movie, right, in the marketing department, some of the choices they're making, right? And I didn't go to school for marketing. I'm not a marketing expert, but I know a little bit about it. But I would say that, first off, I think they already show way too much with the Superman flying, right? Because a lot of people are saying, oh, they just put this up here because they didn't have any other content to show. They didn't want to, maybe Crypto's not going to be in the movie that long, because Crypto would have probably made more sense to have a big spot for him with the Super Bowl. Maybe he's not going to appear that much in the film, or maybe they're saving something for Crypto to do. All of those things I could believe, but even if you're going to go with that, right? This marketing department, what they chose to show in these trailers and such, and how they chose to edit it, and what to put out there, I think they already showed way too much too early, right? I think the flying should have been the last thing we saw. That should have been the last thing we saw going into the last trailer of the movie, right? Because historically, we haven't had to see Superman fly, right? We never got a clear shot of Superman fly in any trailer I can remember, right? And I think you guys agree with me. Go back, look at all the Superman trailers. I mean, in history, you never get real good flight shots, right? And then they do something totally different where they put it right in your face for a long time. It sits there so you can see the flying, right? I didn't like that decision, right? Not saying that I had a problem with them using it, but I would have preferred they use that as the final trailer. Now with the Puppy Bowl and the Crypto thing, yeah, I would have been fine. You know how he calls Crypto when Crypto comes running out of the snow and he gets up there and then he goes, take me home, boy, right? I would have preferred they stopped the trailer right there. We saw nothing else with Crypto and they just replayed that. And then during the Puppy Bowl, right? The next scene would be when he goes, take me home, boy. During the Puppy Bowl, they then show Crypto pulling Superman, so we get an idea how he moves Superman, right? You see what I'm saying? DC, James Gunn, if you need my help, I'll work for free for you, right? Because James Gunn was calling up Zack Snyder for advice in his film. No, you don't call Zack Snyder, you don't call the guy who's out the door on the Superman franchise. It was respectful. Maybe it was a nice gesture and thing to do. I just don't think it was a good move. Call me instead. I won't even charge you nothing. I'll work for free, right? Ask for my advice. I think I could do better. But what I would have done with crypto, because the story on the street is they didn't have enough crypto footage. Crypto could be in that movie for 2 minutes for all we know. I don't know, right? But maybe not. Maybe because James Gunn's into dogs so much, he felt it important to give crypto a more inclusive role in that. And if so, yeah, there should have been more footage for the Super Bowl, right? For the Puppy Bowl. Or like I said, if you only want to show that spot, cut it in half, right? Or maybe they didn't know they were going to just do the Puppy Bowl up to now. I don't really know. But that's, I would have done something like that. I found it hilarious, guys. Again, like I said, it didn't bother me because I feel like they've already shown too much in this trailer, right? Superman has never shown all his flying and how he flies. Go back and look at everything, and that's like the most important thing to do. Even with the Christopher Reeves movie, you would just pretty much get that slogan, "You'll believe a man can fly." But you didn't really get Superman flying, right? You didn't get to see how that was going to be done. Not a lot of that. And most of the Superman movies, the same way with Man of Steel, you see the faraway shots of him going up in the air. You didn't see any of that close-up stuff, right? So, yeah, that's where we're at with that. That's all they were going to say in that. No, I wasn't disappointed. I just thought they had already showed too much of the package too early. I was bursting out laughing. I understand that what James Gunn was trying to do. This was the comedy bit. This is giving you a good element of, this is going to be like Guardians. This is going to be comedy all throughout this film, right? That is for you guys complaining, especially you guys who are dual Marvel fans, dual DC fans, like many of us are. Many of us are doing the Marvel and the DC thing. Many of y'all know that DC films, right? I'm sorry, that Marvel films have big comic book comedic parts to them, right? A lot of their movies are comic booky like that, right? What I'm seeing is James Gunn's just bringing that element to DC. Because that really is the missing element. That's the thing DC hasn't been able to do well. They've been able to put heroes on the screen, team-ups on the screen, but they miss with the comedy, right? And for those of y'all who want a more grounded, serious approach, yeah, you're not going to get that completely here, but I believe you are going to get enough of it because James Gunn knows how to blend that in. He knows how to create adult mood films at the same time speak to younger people, right? And that's a perfect element for making money and keeping franchises around, because you can go out there and grab that demographic of young people who I don't believe you were able to grab during DC's last run. And that's why they can't make $1 billion. And that's why I believe this Superman film can make $1 billion, because kids are going to be able to watch this, right? And at the same time, adults are going to be able to get some out of it, right? That's all I got to say on it, guys. Tell me all what you thought about it. If you were underwhelmed by it, if you thought like me, it's just it's enough content out there already. They didn't have to get a Super Bowl spot because they had the biggest movie trailer already in history. What were they going to get? How many more views they were going to get from the Super Bowl, right? Not too many for $8 million. When you get 0 and you're still getting a trailer with the most views in history. I mean, it's not a whole lot more can be done for you through the advertising, marketing, and promotions, right? And as far as fans, well, we're gonna get maybe 1 or 2 more trailers before July. So that's pretty much it. That's all I got to say on that. Tell me all what you think, guys. If you like my takes on these Superman videos, every person who clicks on and watches If it's 1,000 of you all, I want to see every 1,000 of you all hit the subscribe button. Let's do it as a test. Let's do it as a test. Let's see what happens if everybody who watches this video hits the subscribe button. Let's see if I can get everybody who watches to hit that subscribe button. Just to say we did it. Because that's never been done in YouTube history. That's never ever been done in YouTube history. Let's see if every single person who clicks on the video hits the subscribe button, right? And let's see the subscriber count match the view count. Let's see if we can do that. See if we can pull it off. I just want to see if we can pull it off. I don't care if you hate me or the content. You can unsubscribe afterwards. Let's just see if we can do it. All right, guys. Take care.